Greetings to one and all. This is Sayyeda Silva Khatun, and today me and my peer Shravani are going to present you the topics data discretization and concept hierarchy generation. So let's dig into the topic while Shravani introduces it to you.
Hello everyone, I am Shravani. My ID number is 1900300677. I am a student PO mentor for data warehousing and mining. Now I am going to explain about data discretization. What is data discretization? Data discretization converts a large amount of data into smaller ones so that the data management and data evaluation becomes very easy. Data discretization is a technique used to divide the range of continuous attribute into intervals. Interval labels can be used to replace actual data values of the dataset. It reduces the number of given continuous attributes. Data discretization is nothing but data reduction. When we are dividing data, there is a chance of data reduction. It is one of the most influential data processing tasks in knowledge discovery and data mining. Next, we will move into data discretization example. Here we have an attribute of age with the following values. Here we have a set of values. Before discretization, it is very difficult for us to evaluate the data. After discretization, we can evaluate the data easily. Here, different categories of the people are there, like young, mature, old. This is the example of data discretization. Next, we are moving to why data discretization. There is a need to use discretized data because some classification algorithms only accept categorical attributes. Also, some decision tree based algorithms produce shorter, more compact and accurate results by using discrete values. Any discretization process leads to loss of information because when we are dividing data, there is a chance of loss of information. Making the minimization of such information loss is the main goal of discretizer. Thus, using discretized data leads to concise, easy to use, knowledge level representation of mining results. Next, we are moving to steps involved in discretization process. There are mainly 4 steps involved in data discretization. First one, sorting. Before discretization, we have to sort the data. Second one, evaluating. After sorting, we have to evaluate data. We have to check for the cut point for splitting or merging. Third one, splitting or merging. Splitting or merging the intervals of continuous values according to the some defined criterion. Fourth one, stopping at some point. Next, moving on to types of data discretization. Static versus dynamic. This property refers to the level of independence between the discretized and learning method. A static discretizer is run prior to the learning task, whereas the dynamic discretizer responds when the learner requires so. Next, we will discuss univariate and multivariate. Univariate discretizers operate only with the single attribute simultaneously, whereas multivariate discretizers operate with multiple attributes simultaneously. Next, we will discuss supervised and versus unsupervised. Supervised discretizers mainly deals with the class information, whereas unsupervised discretizers does not use the class information. Next, we will discuss splitting versus merging. These two properties refer to the approach used to generate or define new intervals. Splitting methods search for a cut point to divide the domain into intervals among all the boundary points. Merging techniques begin with a predefined partition and search for a candidate cut point to mix both adjacent intervals after removing it. They are also known as top-down discretization and bottom-up discretization. Next, we will discuss global versus local. A local discretizer makes the partition decision based on the partial information, whereas local discretizer takes decision based on all information. Next, we will discuss direct versus incremental. For direct discretizers, the range associated with the interval must be divided into k intervals simultaneously, requiring an additional criterion to determine the value of k. One-step discretization methods and discretizers which select more than single cut point at every step are included in this category. Incremental methods begin with some discretization and pass through an improvement. Next, Asifa will continue.
So our next topic is concept hierarchies. Concept hierarchy defines a sequence of mapping from low level to high level. So what is the sequence of mapping from low level to high level? Taking an example of the time. So for measuring the time, what do we see? The smallest measure of time is seconds. So going from seconds, we move to minutes. From minutes, we move to hours. From hours to days, and it continues. So this is called sequence of mapping from low level to high level. So concept hierarchies can be used to reduce data by collecting, replacing low level concepts with higher level concepts. See, when we refer to time, we cannot always refer to taking the seconds. Suppose we have to say it will take a week to complete an assignment. We cannot say that particular amount of some lakhs or seconds it will be done. So we map that low level sequence with a high level sequence. So we move from seconds to the higher level concept of week. So that is what the concept hierarchy is about. So generalization is a generation of concept hierarchies in the categorical data. In multi-dimensional model data are organized into multiple dimensions, and each dimension contains multiple levels of abstraction defined by concept hierarchies. So where there is a multi-dimensional model, each dimension will have its own level of abstraction. That is like to say that if one dimension of a model has a certain abstraction, like it has different units of concept hierarchies. Another dimension can have different units of concept hierarchies. Because of these benefits, discretization techniques, concept hierarchies are typically applied before data mining rather than during the data mining. So the concept of concept hierarchies is generally applied before data mining rather than during the data mining, because it is useful to like rather than going through the process and making it complicated, we can do it before the process, which makes things easier. So going on to the next topic, that is typical methods for numerical data. Like what are the methods we can discretize and generate the concept hierarchy for numerical data. There are certain methods like binning, histogram analysis, cluster analysis, entropy based discretization, and discretization by intuitive partitioning. In this video, we will only be discussing about binning and cluster analysis. So moving on to binning. Binning is nothing but it is a top-down splitting technique based on specified number of bins, and it is also unsupervised discretization where the sorted values are distributed into buckets. So here there are two types of binning again. That is equal width partitioning, that also called as distance partitioning, and another one is frequency partitioning. So coming to equal bit partitioning here, it divides, actually both the binning techniques divide the range into n intervals of equal size, and width of the intervals will be defined as w is equals to b minus a by n, where a and b are the lowest and highest values of the particular attribute respectively, and n, as we have already found, it is the range of the intervals. So here taking an example of sorted data for prices of some commodities. We have different ranges of prices, and we find out the width that is equals to 10. By substituting the values, we have got the largest value of the attribute as 34 and smallest value of the attribute as 4. So subtracting that and dividing it by 3, that is the range of the intervals, we get the value 10. So each bin will have the width of only 10. So that is we will have in bin 1 from the lowest value 4 to 14. Here it is. Then we have bin 2 from 15 to 24. Then bin 3 from 25 to 34. Then next we have equal with distance, that is distance partitioning. As we divide what the prices we have got in example into the bins, we get that bin 1 gets 4 and 8 according to the limit here, and bin 2 gets 15, 21, 21 and 24. Bin 3 gets 25, 28 and 34. Going to the next method, equal depth or frequency partitioning. As I have said, the both binning partitioning techniques divide it into n intervals. Here, the difference between the two binning partitioning techniques is that in the first technique we have seen it is based on the width. That is, every bin has certain width 10. Here, example, it is 10. And here there is nothing, no concept of width of each bin. Here it is such that the values in the every bin are almost equal. Like if suppose bin 1 is having here bin 1 is having 3 values, that means bin 2 will also have 3 values, or bin 3 will also have 3 values. It doesn't mean that all the bins like have equal values. It is like they can have nearly equal values, like they can differentiate with 1 or 2 values. So here you can see the example. Moving on to clustering. Clustering analysis, it is a very popular data discretization method. Here it can be applied to a numerical attribute. Here we are taking an example, suppose A, by partitioning the value of A into clusters or groups. Clustering takes distribution of A into concentration as well as closeness of data points, and therefore is able to produce high quality discretization results. It can be used to generate a copy of hierarchy for A by following either top-down splitting strategy or bottom-up merging strategy, where each cluster forms a node. In the former, means here the top-down or splitting strategy, initial cluster or partition may be further decomposed into several subclusters, forming a lower level of hierarchy. So lower level of hierarchy, like top-down approach. Yes. So taking the example which I have taken earlier of time. So here, let's move from hours. From hours, we can move to minutes. Like we are dividing certain number of hours into certain number of minutes, and we are dividing that certain number of minutes into certain number of seconds. So here we are decomposing our attribute time into several subclusters of hours, minutes, and seconds. So we are forming a lower level of hierarchy. And I'll be taking the same example to say the next point, that is forming the higher level concepts or higher level hierarchy going from seconds. Going from seconds, we can cluster the seconds into minutes, and we can cluster the minutes into hours. So here the seconds are clustered into minutes and minutes into hours. That is, we are grouping the neighboring clusters in order to form higher level concepts. So this is the basic idea of cluster analysis. So thank you all folks for listening till now. This was done by Shravani and me, Asifa.